What's up, comic and pop culture fans? This is James with Mint Hunter Comics, and I just got a lead on a collection, but there's a lot of competition. So I told him I will come right now, pay in cash, please consider me, and we are nervously sitting. Well, I'm nervously sitting. You don't care.
I'm chill.
Yeah. Waiting to meet up with this dude to get some potential really good deals on some comics. I guess I'll let you know if it actually happens. So I got the collection, but it came with an interesting caveat. The three most notable books that got my attention in the picture were not there. So it's up to you guys. You can let me know in the comments down below. Do you think that was an intentional bait and switch, or was it a true accident? I will explain. Before we do that, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below, and consider joining. This is my Patreon through YouTube, $1.99 a month. So as you saw, I was waiting in front of Walgreens with Elle, and the guy got there, and I went over, greeted him, and the first thing he said is, I need you to double check these books. My kids were in the garage and they were messing around with some of the comics. He set the stage as, let's double check to make sure it's all there. So I went through the entire box, I don't know, maybe a little less than 100 comics, and I noticed a few books immediately were missing. The books that I wanted to see that were in the advertisement but weren't there were as follows: the first appearance of Prowler, the Superman and Flash race, and then another one of the anti-drug, non-Comics Code Authority ASMs. Had they been in there, they would immediately have been the best books in this batch, absolutely, hands down. He also said that his son noticed a couple had either detached covers, which, again, depending on the book, who cares? It's still good to get, but also a little bit of mold. So he said the son threw out the mold ones like a week ago. Now, to me, maybe you should only be photographing the books after you've thrown some books out, but that's just me. Regardless, what I think happened is the missing books were a result of either they had a little bit of mold on them, or possibly the kids got them and removed them. Do I actually think they took the most valuable books on purpose and took them out of there? No. There were plenty of non-valuable books that were also missing from the pictures. So I don't think it was a big conspiracy. The guy was a sweetie pie. He was a really cool dude, and I am choosing to believe the words that he said. Regardless, the $130 that we agreed upon for the collection immediately went down, obviously, with those books not being in there. So I got everything you're about to see for $70 cash on the spot, which, as you're about to see, is actually not that bad. Would it have been better if I spent $130 and got those other books? Absolutely. It could have been close to what we call a grand slam. But that's okay. It does happen. Let's show you what we got in no particular order. We've got a slew of these Dell and other related 12-cent books. So we've got a good amount of Silver Age mixed in here, a little bit of Charlton here. Now, the majority of this collection was not in fantastic shape. Like mid-grade for most of them, a lot of them, I would say mid to low grade. But that's okay, you know, what are you expecting? Some of these I looked up on eBay, like anything Space Family Robinson, even in low grade, and this one's actually a little better than low grade. This one is, they go for like 25, 30 bucks, so that's interesting. We got a bunch of war books, things like that. We've got more war books. I've been really picking up war books lately. That is completely by accident. That's just how it is sometimes. Sometimes you get a bunch of stuff that's really similar all in the same time. So let's get that stacked down and get a new one going for you. Random, I think early 70s or maybe mid 70s Flash. Not in the greatest shape, that one. Not at all. We've also got a bunch of Superman. Oh, I should mention, this is not the full collection. There were a number of what I would consider dollar bin books, probably about 40. And I actually, before I'm even making this video, I put all 40 of them up on my Instagram. I said $30, less than $1 per book, and they got claimed like that. So out of the 70 bucks, I already made 30. And there are some notable books in here, which we will get to. Dennis the Menace, some 12-cent Turok. I'll do a count like I always do in the videos, but I think we might already be at 70, and that's without even getting into the books that I think are truly notable. So let's keep it going. There also were some magazines, which I'm going to be honest, I was so short on time this weekend. I am squeezing this video in. I've got a lot going on, so I wasn't able to take the time to look up the prices for it. One of them is the final issue of Epic, so I want to look up that one first. I just haven't had the time. We do have a little bit of Dell 10 centers in there, so we do have some Golden Age in here. And right back to the Silver Age we go. 12-cent, yeah, that's still Silver Age on that one. Tom and Jerry. All right, so here's where it gets interesting. So this is like one of the most random books possibly ever, right? Twilight Zone, there's 3 copies of it. It's a Whitman, it's from the 70s. It's not one of the 60s or I think 50s. Twilight Zone goes to the 50s. I don't remember. But it is so gosh darn high grade that I can't quite justify putting it in the dollar bins, but it's also not, I would say, a $5 book. So I'm thinking of slapping $3 on each of them. They're like so clean you might want to get them graded, which is a very bizarre, in the middle of a very mid-grade collection to randomly have those. I thought that was very strange. Secret Wars, number 2, First Beyonder in physical form, and Thunder Sword. Problem is, in this condition, $1. Another random $3 book. We got a Fantastic Four, which I think is one of the better covers there is. Not really a key, though, but people do like picking it up for their personal collection for the cover. That condition, probably only a $3 book, though. We got a Superman. I don't remember which particular issue that is. $3. We've got a true Popeye 10 center. I believe that might be late Golden Age. Oh yeah, this is cool. So now we're getting into the good stuff. So we've got Adventure Comics 415, Supergirl cover, and it's probably in the top 5 rapiest comic book covers of all time. It's Supergirl drugged and unconscious, being hauled away by her hair into the bed chambers of this alien as he's about to marry her against her wishes. Okay. All right, now this is cool. This is actually cool. We've got a really sharp Freedom Fighters #1. My theory is that this guy saw his copy of Freedom #1 right here, which is a reader to say the least, and he maybe bought on eBay or something a really sharp copy. So that actually is close to like a $30 book in that ridiculously high grade. This one would only be like $5, but check it out. There's the first, I think it's the first 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, might even be more. Let me keep looking. 7, 8. So the first 8 issues of Freedom Fighters. That's pretty cool. And they're weirdly high grade. They don't match the rest of this collection at all. So that's pretty interesting. You can get a nice little price tag for 1 through 8. Obviously, the biggest and best is #1. 7 is a key, too. I forget how. We got a Jack of Hearts #1. In that condition, it's like a $3 book. Here's a weird one. I don't know how I keep picking this up, but it's Judo Master 93. It's the reprint of the first appearance of Tiger. I keep picking up this Modern Comics reprint of this book. It's such a bizarre niche book to keep picking up, and I keep doing it. I'm not complaining because it's actually like a $5, $10 book, even as just the reprint. But I don't know, kind of interesting. All right, let's keep it going. We've got Giant-sized defenders. It's the third team appearance of the Guardians of the Galaxy, and first Vance Astrovic, who is Marvel Boy. That's pretty cool. In that condition, unfortunately, it's normally like a $40 book for a high grade, but in that condition, it comes all the way down. I put a $5 price on it. Warlord number 6, the first Mariah Romanova. Same thing. It's got a couple issues, so instead of being a $10 book, I put a $3 price on that. G.I. Joe 27, Origin of Snake Eyes, and the first appearance of Timber. And again, that's like a 7.5, so $3. Now this is neat. First appearance of the Master Jailer. And just like the other ones, the Twilight Zones, another set of 3, and they're all very high grade. So that's pretty cool. I thought I'd put them at $5 each. I think that's fair. Online, I see that they go for up to 10, even other double digits. Now we have Wonder Woman 250, first appearance of Orana as the new Wonder Woman, which is really convenient because that is one of the books that's starting to gain momentum now that the Gun Amazon show was released. So that's some good timing, I might say. Now this is a really bad condition of a pretty nice book. First Frankie Ray as the second Nova. It's Fantastic Four 244, and it's like a 2.5. Maybe like a 3. It's drawn on, it's ridiculous looking. So what's normally like a $60, $70 book, $5. The condition just wasn't there. Here's another one I looked up. Modern Comics, Monster Hunters #1, first Countess Von Blood, Colonel White Shroud. And again, if it was high grade, we'd have very different figures here. It would be like a $25 book. Again, $5. You can see why, as happy as I am, I would have really liked that first Prowler, first Superman Flash race. Walt Disney's Uncle Scrooge. This is a nice one. Online, they went for $15. I just put $5 on it. It's actually decent condition, but I want it to move. Here's a pretty rough, I believe it's Neil Adams, though. Superboy 160. Look that up because that's a cool looking cover. Unfortunately, that condition, it hurts it. Only $5. Then we have like I think it's the 4th appearance of Jonah Hex. Weird Western Tales number 14. There he is sprawled out on the cover. It actually is a decent valued book, but again, with that condition, it brings it down quite a bit. I put it at $8. I always want to round down when there's condition issues. Ms. Marvel number 9, first appearance of Deathbird, which is normally like, again, $25 book if it's high grade. This one's mid grade, so I put it for $8. This is cool. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 8, the actual number 8 from the main run. It's always nice to get in the single digits for that. It also features Cerebus. It's a crossover. First, Renet, Lord, Simultaneous, Savanti, Romero. A couple first appearances in there. And let's move on to what I thought the best books of the batch were. We've definitely made a profit. I just would have loved to have had the best books in there. This awesome classic Neil Adams cover, Detective Comics issue 404, can go all the way raw to $200. Unfortunately, that has condition issues, and thus $25. Another book I keep getting. This is the modern. Remember, for this book, you want to see the Charlton comics, but this is the modern comics, which is just a few years later. They reprinted it. The first appearance of The Question. Luckily, this particular reprint of the first appearance of The Question still commands a decent value. If you see this in dollar bins and out in the wild, absolutely pick it up. If you've got a nice copy, which this one surprisingly is, you're looking at like $20, and it can go all the way to $30 if you've got like a really sharp one. Sometimes reprints, if they're early enough, close to the main issue, they're not that bad. Godzilla #1 first appearance of Godzilla in comics. Almost was the best book in there. This is a book that can go all the way up to $100 raw. It's in like perfect condition. This has some condition issues. It's probably only about a 7, maybe even a 6.5. So I put it at 30 bucks. My favorite Detective Comics cover out of the ones we picked up today. Detective Comics 403, absolutely gorgeous cover. That one's a clean 30 bucks. And the only Spider-Man, remember there were supposed to be more, the only Spider-Man is issue 93, which I believe is the second appearance of Prowler, but it's the first appearance of Arthur Stacy and a nice pre-100 Amazing Spider-Man. And that is it. Like I said, there were some magazines, but I didn't quite have time to get a good look at them. So, I don't know. I actually haven't tallied it yet, so when I'm doing the editing for this video, I'll be able to see, okay, that's how much I made. Regardless, I'm happy. It was a really good purchase. 70 bucks, you know, I'm sure I'll triple or whatever my money. So, it wasn't a bad trip out to Walgreens. Anyway, guys, this is why you keep on hunting, and don't forget to check those piles before you walk home with those books. And I'll see you on the next video.